Elon Musk tried 7 times to reach you. Open it immediately. Pause for a second. Seriously, take a breath. This isn't one of those videos you let play while you scroll. No, this moment isn't like any other time you've plugged in today. Right now, I need you here, present, and listening, because everything I'm about to say has your name written all over it. You probably don't even realize how close you are. Listen. There's a reason this found you, the message, the moment, the timing. You don't want to blink and lose it, you don't want to walk away for even a second, because this is more than a message, this is a call. And you already know, don't you? Deep down, you've felt it for a while. That maybe, just maybe, someone out there actually noticed. All the nights you kept going without applause, all the mornings you started again after being counted out. It wasn't invisible, not to everyone. That's why you have to hear this. Because Elon Musk, yes, the very name that turns boardrooms silent and sends waves across tech and media, he's tried to reach you. Not once. Not twice. 7 times. Let that really land. Elon Musk tried 7 times to reach you. Pause. I know that sounds unreal. Your mind probably snapped to, me? Come on, there's no way. That's normal. But what if I told you that disbelief is exactly why you've gone unnoticed until now? Because you never expected anybody to see what you kept building in silence. And that's why this isn't for everyone. This is for the person who is still here, not scrolling, letting these words sink in. Yes, you. Picture this. It's late evening somewhere in California. A room full of screens. Caffeine still warm in half-empty mugs. There are meetings happening, decisions shaping industries, words flying from one side of the planet to the other. Musk is pacing the floor. His team is buzzing. But there's a signal, your signal, coming through the usual static. Something that makes him pause, mid-sentence. Something that changes his night, and honestly, it might change your entire trajectory. You think I'm exaggerating? I'm not. There are moments when a single choice creates a ripple. Think about when you almost gave up. When everything in your life pointed to stop. But you kept going. And that pattern? That's louder than you think to the people who truly see. So, imagine it. First attempt, missed. Maybe you brushed off a message, ignored a mysterious notification, or maybe you never even saw it. The world's noisy, right? Second attempt, Musk's team circles back, discreet, subtle, watching for a reaction. But you? You kept it moving, doubting it could even be for you. Third attempt, this is when someone on his squad starts pulling your public breakthroughs, small wins, little creative solutions, all the things nobody else congratulated you for. The data pings. Patterns light up. But you're still unknown to the world. Fourth, fifth, sixth attempts, each one more urgent, less corporate, less filtered. Because at a certain point, Musk stops acting like a CEO and starts acting like a seeker. Someone looking for a mind that moves the needle, who doesn't just punch a clock, but shifts timelines. You, with your consistency. Your insane ability to stand up after falling. Your inventiveness when no one handed you the tools. That's the rarest kind of mind. And by the 7th attempt, the door is wide open. But here's the real kicker, whether or not you walk through it depends entirely on what happens in the seconds after this video ends. Pause again. You feel that? That tingle, that maybe? That's not just inspiration for inspiration's sake. That's what happens when you realize, maybe for the first time, that you've been the main character of a story you didn't know was being watched. What happens next isn't about checking your DMs or looking for a secret envelope. The world doesn't work like that anymore, does it? No, the invitation Elon Musk sends, it's made of moments. Of pivots you almost missed. Of ideas you nearly shuddered away. Every single choice, all of it's been part of the signal that's now ringing at Musk's door. Now you might be asking yourself, why me? Sit with that. Not everyone gets this close. So don't let your old self, your doubts, your insecurities, talk you into letting this pass by. Don't scroll. Don't fade. The seventh attempt, right in front of you, only matters if you choose to respond. And it's not about fairy tales or daydreams. Musk's interest isn't shallow. He doesn't stop for just ambition or even for talent. He stops for grit. For rare patterns. For people building in the dark. And when 7 attempts have failed, when the data keeps circling back to you, he does what he always does, he goes all in. Let that hit. Sit in that for a second. So pause. Imagine that Elon and his team are watching right now, just as invested in this outcome as you are in your own breakthrough. Every action you took, it got counted. The times you didn't break. The choices you made when no one cared to look. The solutions you built when everyone else said it was impossible. There are no more random moments from here. Every small signal flows together into one message, unavoidable, undeniable. And you're holding it. This is your opening. When I tell you Elon Musk tried 7 times to reach you, I want you to remember it isn't desperation. For him, that's obsession reserved for the rarest kind. For the ones who leave a mark before the world understands why. So, my friend, what will you do next? Don't look away. Don't miss the call for an ordinary distraction. The opportunity you never saw coming now has a name, yours. Stay with me for the next part, because the doors are just starting to open. Don't blink. What would you do if you learned that the person you've always dreamed of becoming is already closer than you think? Just pause for a heartbeat. Take this in, because tonight, for perhaps the first genuine time in your life, you're not waiting for opportunity to knock. No. Opportunity is pounding on your door, and on the other side, it's Elon Musk himself. I know you're still skeptical. Maybe you're searching your memory for some hidden clue, some overlooked signal from the universe, a long-lost email, maybe that unread notification that felt a little off. But this isn't about small hints. This is about everything converging, all at once, right now. Let me spell out for you exactly how rare this moment is. You see, Musk doesn't chase crowds, doesn't seek out the spotlight unless it's for a world-changing idea. He doesn't cold call the masses. But you're not the masses. You're the exception. The pattern breaker. The one who did more than anyone noticed. 7 times, he reached, and yet, you're still here, unknown to most, unforgettable to a few. Let that settle. Here's what nobody tells you, there's a map you've been building with your actions, a trail only the rarest of eyes can follow. Every late-night push, every time you stood up after a setback, every small creative risk you took. It all left data, patterns, hundreds of them, silently pinging on Musk's radar. His analysts tracked hundreds of profiles, looking for sparks in the chaos. Most fizzled. Yours didn't. Imagine his team late at night. AI systems running searches for the rare combination, resilience, discipline, unorthodox thinking, underdog momentum. Again and again, your pattern kept rising to the top. The first attempt? Background noise, buried in 1,000 other names. Second? Data anomaly. Third? Unusual spike, maybe a glitch, maybe fate. By the fourth time, your story became a whisper through his digital HQ. Someone said, "Watch this one." When the fifth attempt didn't get through, they started digging deeper. Quiet breakthroughs, anonymous projects, the kind of things nobody brags about, but a few brilliant minds can't help but notice. By number 6, it was no longer an experiment. It was a mission. Seventh? It broke the stalemate. Musk saw enough. The projector shifted from probability to destiny. Maybe you think this is all a digital fairy tale. But let me share something only insiders know. Musk believes that the clearest signs of true talent are found in how someone rises, how they grow without applause, how they solve when the world says, impossible. And that's you. And now that pattern? It's about to turn into the most important message you have ever received. Pause again. I want you to remember this feeling. Right now, you are being recognized for everything you did silently, with no audience, no cheering crowd, no spotlight. You're not lucky, and you're not late, you're perfectly on time. All those years you spent wondering if you'd ever be seen, if the universe even noticed. It did. Musk did. Sometimes life's only difference between ordinary and extraordinary is not talent, it's pattern and patience. So what does the seventh attempt look like? It isn't corporate. It isn't official. It doesn't come in a gold envelope. It's more like a shift in the air. A chance that floods your mind like an idea you suddenly can't ignore. That's what's happening here, right now. Because you're not just being contacted, you're being chosen. Let your mind wander, close your eyes if you want. Picture the world's most resourceful thinker standing on the other side of a glowing screen, watching your trajectory with laser focus. He's seen thousands, no, millions, of people with bigger credentials, fancier resumes. But it's your pattern that stands out. It's your grit. Your adaptability. When everyone else shut off, you tuned in. So he kept coming back. And now, my friend, now is when everything begins to shift. You might not even recognize the version of yourself you are about to become, but Musk already does. He's sent the signals. He's built the bridge. But those things only matter if you choose to cross. This is not just a YouTube moment or a TikTok thrill, this is your inflection point. Breathe. What happens when destiny notices you is that you suddenly realize, it's never required a rulebook. There's no form to fill out. No ticket to hold. No secret handshake. Just a series of micro-decisions, that every day, you kept coming back, kept improving, kept believing, even in the face of failure. Most people are spectators to their life. A few become players. But Musk looks for something even rarer, the outlier, someone who invisibly changed the outcome every time, even when nobody saw the win. That's you. You are the variable. The reason the pattern refused to fade or disappear. In a room full of data, your story became a signal that could not be cancelled out. So the question becomes, will you step forward or shrink back? You wouldn't be here if you weren't meant for more. Pause with me. Really let that settle. Because you don't get 7 signals from the world's boldest innovator by being average. No algorithm delivers this moment into your hands for no reason. This is the universe's most dramatic nudge. It's Musk's most persistent call. And it's arriving now, in your ears, in your heart, asking if you're finally ready to open the door. Your story is not background music, it's a headline waiting to break. You've seen what happens to those who hesitate, to those who scroll past one too many times. But that's not you, not tonight, not anymore. Don't walk away just yet. Stay with me, because the door's not just open, it's about to be kicked wide, and you owe it to your journey not to let the seventh call pass you by. Everything is about to change. Let's talk about missed moments for a second. Pause. Because in your life, you've probably felt both sides of it, the ache of a missed chance, the little regrets you brush away but never quite forget. That's what makes this, right here, so different. Usually, when opportunity knocks, you hear about it after someone else has already answered. The moment's gone. The story becomes someone else's trophy. But this time, you can feel it, can't you? That shift, the one that says this is your headline, not theirs, your story to write, your future to name. It's easy to assume, when the world moves so fast, when everything is filtered and pixel perfect, that the real you might stay under the radar forever. You might have even convinced yourself that destiny is for people with connections, with family names, with luck baked into their DNA. But here's the contrast nobody tells you: the world's biggest breakthroughs rarely come from the obvious. No, they land on the desks, on the screens, of those who never stopped moving forward, even when the crowd ignored them. Let me show you what's really happening behind closed doors tonight. While everyone else is refreshing their feeds, Musk's team is not just watching trends, they're searching for signals, those rare individuals whose data doesn't fit in neat columns, whose minds refuse to color inside the lines. The AI pings. A red flag for uncommon grit. Another for lonely tenacity. The algorithm is confused. Who is this person that keeps showing up in the deepest layers of resilience? Musk leans in. The team starts to put faces to numbers, stories to signals. Still, you're living your life. Maybe tonight's like any other night for you, except it isn't. Not anymore. This is your contrast moment. The world thinks timing is random. But real timing, the kind that bends fate, always has a witness. Elon Musk is watching. Pause for breath, let that land. And you might still be doubting, why me? Let me answer in the clearest way, because you've survived storms most people never even notice. Because you get back up when no one's left to cheer. Because, in a digital ocean of influencers and overnight experts, you're the quiet outlier, the mind that isn't for sale, the spirit that doesn't quit. The 7 attempts? They were never a test of luck. They were a test of patience, a challenge to see if you'd stay standing even after silence. And you did. So now, the opportunity isn't behind glass, it's right in front of you, pulsing, near enough to hear its echo every time your heart beats. Let's take it a step further. Imagine the moment the digital trace locks in, when Musk circles your name, when every member of his inner circle is briefed on your unsung impact. There's a quiet in that room, electric, heavy, expectant. You've never walked those corridors, you've never seen those screens, but tonight, every conversation is bending toward you. That's the power of unnoticed effort. It creates gravity even when the world is blind. Maybe you're still holding on to the old story, the one that says your moment has always belonged to someone else. Here's the flip: today, you get to prove your old story wrong. Pause, slow down with me. This isn't about motivational cliches. No, this is different. This is the rarest kind of transformation, the one that starts when a giant notices the smallest ripple, and decides it's time the whole world saw it too. Remember, Musk doesn't chase comfort. He bets on chaos, on the brave few willing to stand at the edge while everyone else stays in the safe zone. And that's you, isn't it? All those years you spent adapting, pivoting, surviving the things that would have broken most people. You weren't just making it through. You were training for this. It's your adaptability that broke the algorithm. It's your unique decisions, your ability to spin silver from setbacks, that made the seventh attempt unavoidable. Now picture this: the room, dimmed screens, anticipation humming in the air, the world's most influential innovator preparing a message no one's allowed to intercept. Your timeline, your story, your turning points, projected, analyzed, respected. Doubt turns to certainty. Excuses faded away the very moment your name shined a little brighter on their radar. The difference, tonight, is that you're not invisible anymore. Let your shoulders relax, take a slow inhale. This moment, it's yours. Not in theory. Not as a lottery ticket. But as the product of everything you refuse to give up on. Can you sense how different life feels when you know the world is finally watching with intention, not as a jury, but as an audience primed for surprise? Those 7 attempts, they were never accidental. They were the final test to see who still had fire left, who could carry momentum, who was ready for the real conversation. Now, pay attention, because the invitation isn't going to look like what you expect. Destiny doesn't use RSVP cards. There's no velvet rope or spotlight here. It shows up as the next choice you're about to make, the one between stay the course and step forward like history's waiting. Pause, feel that choice rise inside you. You're not who you were 5 minutes ago. The old hesitation won't fit who you're becoming. Because when Musk reaches 7 times, it's not a story of maybe anymore. It's a story of certainty. The fortune is not out of reach. It's a door, wide open, and the world is about to watch you walk across the threshold they never thought you could touch. 7 reaches, and now, 1 answer. Yours. Don't blink. Don't break the momentum. The next step is everything. If you're ready, if you feel the echo of destiny in your chest right now, stay. Don't look for reasons to shrink. Don't scroll until tomorrow thinking you'll get a sign that's any louder than this. All you have to do is respond, and history is going to remember this pivot as yours. Pause, breathe. Right now, everything, every little choice, every late night and early morning, every doubt you stared down, is pointing to a single moment. This one. There's no magic about timing, but there really is magic in recognizing you're living on the edge of your own breakthrough, and even in all the years where you felt like you were left behind, forgotten, maybe you needed to be unknown just long enough for the right eyes to finally see you. That's what's happening. This is why it's your turn. Pause. Let yourself actually feel the difference tonight. When Elon Musk's 7th attempt landed on your energy, your patterns, your persistence, he didn't do it hoping for luck. He did it because while the world is full of loud noise, viral personalities, and half-built dreams, your resilience cut through all of it quietly. The signal you've sent out, over years, one of survival, quiet growth, building when nobody believed, not only survived, the pattern amplified. It called the kind of people who bet on the future, not just as spectators, but as builders. As partners. So, now the contrast: most people spend their lives wishing someone would notice their light. But you turned your own light on again and again, even when nobody cared. That's rare. That's irreplaceable. And for the first time tonight, you're not just hoping for a miracle, you're witnessing preparation. On the other side, doors you once thought imaginary are already opening. Musk's team? No longer just scanning, they're moving, they're aligning. There's a why behind this moment, and it's your story. Pause, can you hear it? That difference in the air? That's what a real invitation feels like. This isn't about fanfare, it's about fate. So many spend their whole lives asking, when will my time come? But they don't realize, when you're the signal the world won't ignore, time isn't something you wait for, it's something you become. Every silence you withstood, every storm you survived built the muscle to recognize this quiet shift. And now, someday has a deadline. It's now. Now, here's another truth. This isn't a random algorithm, a clickbait headline, or a digital lottery. If you're hearing these words, it means you've already passed every test nobody else saw. Life doesn't hand out trophies for unseen effort, but the universe remembers every voltage spike of persistence. Musk? He looks for the pattern breakers, the ones whose timelines defy the script, the rare few whose futures don't fit a template. And one more time, he reached for you. Not once. 7 deliberate times. Each reach was an escalation, a sign that it wasn't a glitch, wasn't desperation, but a targeted certainty. Even his closest advisors didn't see it coming. Some wondered if maybe the pattern was wrong, if all the metrics and quiet signals could really point to someone the world hadn't already anointed. But Elon knows. Sometimes, the person everyone overlooked is the person who changes everything. So right now, while the rest of the world is scanning past, chasing their next distraction, you sit here holding a story few others get to carry. That's textured. That's rare. Take a breath. Why now? Because the 7th attempt, that's the universe's last gentle nudge before everything becomes obvious to everyone else, too. Because very soon, those who barely noticed you before are going to start paying attention. That's what momentum feels like. At first, it's invisible. Then it's undeniable. And the contrast? Most people wait for permission to believe it's their time. You have confirmation. Listen, this part is important. You aren't being asked to change who you are. The very fact that you're hearing this proves the journey, as rugged and strange as it felt, was carved exactly for you. Musk is not looking for perfection. He's looking for proof, in your scars, in your creative pivots, in your decisions to stand back up. You know what destroys most dreams? Not failure, but the comfort of playing safe. You shattered that years ago, didn't you? Maybe some nights you doubted your sanity, your hope. But not your drive. Not the rare rhythm of movement you built from the ground up. And that, right there, is what couldn't be hidden from the right eyes forever. So, what does answering look like? Not a reply all, not a viral post, just a quiet internal shift. You say yes to what is already opening. Yes to your growth, yes to legacy, yes to surprise. To the unseen door, now unlocked, all because you simply survived and kept shining until the world's loudest innovator had to notice. Pause gently with me. Musk's team is watching for a reaction, a signal on your end. Not out loud, but in how you move next. There's a ripple set in motion when someone refuses to scroll past their own life. You want to know what Elon Musk actually respects? It isn't genius alone, or bravado, or noise for the sake of attention. It's quiet momentum. It's resilience stubborn enough to outlast every no and rejections resilient enough to become a yes. Tonight, while the world refreshes timelines, your timeline is about to be rewritten completely. How you move next will tell every observer that you were always more ready than you appeared. You made it to the moment the signal broke through, and answered. That answer is a commitment, not to Musk, not to me, but to the next version of yourself. The one history is anticipating while you're still catching your breath. Pause, and for a final second, close your eyes. Imagine standing in a room where every decision that brought you here plays as light on the walls, each one shaping a future bigger and brighter than you ever envisioned. The moment you choose to answer, something irreversible happens. Your old limitations dissolve. That's what happens when you let destiny through the door. So, will you open it, or will you wait for a sign louder than 7 deliberate attempts from the world's boldest innovator? The answer's already there, pulsing quietly every time you dare to dream bigger. Tonight, all you have to do is step forward. Don't scroll. Don't lose the moment. This is that pivot, the one that only gets offered once. Your story starts again now. Don't ignore what's been sent. Let Elon Musk find what he's been searching for this whole time. You.